Hi, today we are here with David Christopher, a name who is no stranger in our local ultra running scene. Of course, he is also the 2019 Malaysia Backyard Ultra last man standing. Welcome, David.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I have a few questions for you. Let's begin for the first question. How do you come about to know Backyard Ultra?
I think I first heard about it maybe in 2017. It became popular globally. I think that time the winner did 59 hours.
59 hours.
Yeah, and I follow a lot of international American websites and podcasts. So I'm aware of like what's going on, especially in America, in the English-speaking running world. So yeah, that was 59 hours. That was like it almost went mainstream, and this was 2 years ago. Guillermo, I think his name. Yeah, so that's when I first came to know about it, and then after that I read about the format, and it's very
So at that
interesting.
moment, 59 hours, were you like shocked that a human can do such a thing? Perform
Yeah.
Such a thing?
I was completely blown away. I think everybody was shocked. Even the organizers must seem shocked because that was like a different threshold. I think the previous longest distance was 40 something hours. So suddenly it just jumped to 59 hours.
I see. Okay.
So that was very exciting. It really caught my attention.
I see. Okay. What was going on in your mind when you first heard that Malaysia is gonna have their first edition of Backyard Ultra?
Actually, months prior to that, I was just thinking about it. I was wondering to myself, when is Malaysia going to have a first one? Or when is the first one going to be held anywhere near me, like maybe in Singapore, regional area
I see.
that I could attend? And then it just appeared online on some Facebook pages. And my first impression was that I was very happy, very excited. I knew I was definitely going to do it,
Okay.
for sure. I just had to figure out how to train or how to plan for it.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will bring you back to last year. It has been a fascinating race with Hisashi Kitamura in 2019 Malaysia Backyard Ultra. How did you feel when Hisashi told you that this is his last loop? What was going on in your mind at that time?
I was very sleep deprived, obviously. So mostly I was surprised. I couldn't believe it. I wasn't sure it's real or not. But then yeah, we continued talking, and he said yeah, he's gonna drop. His leg has some issue with his legs.
I see.
It's very surprising because he looked extremely strong for all the laps except for the last 2 laps. Coming up from the second last lap, I think he was holding his legs. So that's the first sign of weakness on him. Other than that, he looked perfectly capable, very strong. Looked like he was going to go all the way till the night time, to the second night. So yeah, so I didn't expect it to end anytime soon. I was just thinking about myself at that point, about how many more hours am I going to do, what am I going to eat for the next few hours. I was already thinking of, okay, what's going to come up next, how I'm going to stay awake. So it was just unbelievable. I didn't expect him to drop out when he did.
I see.
So yeah, after a while I knew it was going to happen, and then I actually, funnily enough, I tried to explain to him that if he is really going to drop out, please drop out immediately. Don't finish the loop, because I know if he finishes the loop, I have to go out and do another loop.
I see.
So if he had actually just quit there and then and timed out, then I would have just been on my last loop already.
Got it.
So because he didn't want to quit immediately when he first spoke to me, I had to do another additional loop.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that was a small little point.
Okay. What have you gained in your last Backyard Ultra race that you used to improve on your race or races?
The last year's Backyard Ultra was really a near perfect race for me. Like everything went correctly. It was a near picture perfect race. My hydration, my nutrition, I almost had no problems, which is a privileged problem to have now, because I normally learn from my failures. I learn from my DNFs. I learn from poor performances. So in this case, everything went correctly. So it's not so clear how to improve. But my main problem during the race was sleep deprivation. I think like 4 or 5 in the morning, it was extremely hard to stay awake. So that's one thing I definitely have to work at for whichever next attempt I go. How to stay awake
I stay awake.
beyond, even within soon after 20 hours, especially early morning. So last year, 2019, I took some caffeine pills. They helped a little bit, but they also give me some stomach issues. So that's the first thing I have to work on. That's the only weakness I had during the race, which I know I need to work on. Other than that, yeah, probably have to look into hydration and nutrition. Although I didn't face any problems in last year's race, but if I'm going to go beyond 30 hours or 40 hours, God willing, I have to figure it out. But yeah, so sleep is the first priority, how to figure it out.
I see.
Yeah.
So are you planning to go beyond 30 hours?
Yes.
Or have you actually?
In the backyard, of course not. I've only done one format, but I did my longest. I've done Spartathlon. That was almost 35 hours.
35 hours.
Yeah, and I did Penang Echo 100 miles. That took me 37 hours. But that was because I was not fast
Anything
enough.
else beyond this 40
No,
hours?
no. The longest I've done is 37 hours.
Okay, David. Now that everybody knows your strategy during the backyard ultra race, so are you planning to do the same strategy for if you do to join backyard ultra again, or you have any secret strategy that you'll be using if you're to join the backyard ultra format again?
I think for the first 24 hours, my strategy will be identical. If anything, instead of a 55-minute man, which I was christened,
Yes.
I'll
Yes.
probably do maybe even a 57-minute.
Wow. Okay.
57-minute per lap running. I don't think I need that much of a break
Wow.
because I'm very quick with the checkpoints. Just a refill of water, grab a few hundred calories, and I'm ready. So my strategy will be very identical. Maybe 57 minutes. That's the only change for the first 24 hours, and then after that, I'll probably consider some sort of power naps if the race goes towards the second night, which means more than 36 or 40 hours. If that happens, I will probably do a few quick laps to try to squeeze in a 10-minute sleep break, power nap or something.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have to figure that out. That's something I'm concerned about
Okay.
for 40 hours and beyond. I think for first 24 hours I'm good, even with some coffee and caffeine. I should be able to force my way through 24 hours.
So you're trying to squeeze some sleep because you say you're sleep deprived. So you're trying to squeeze some sleep in between after beyond 24 hours.
Yeah, I do
That's a
look.
new
I do read some race reports from some of the best in the world from the American race, and so yeah, they do mention power naps or how sometimes maybe when you have the easier course, the road course or something, yeah, they'll try to do a 40-minute or 45-minute run and then take a 10-minute break. So I probably have to try to incorporate that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be quite tough and insane to do up to 48 hours with zero sleep. So I think I really need to do a few quick laps to get at least a few minutes of sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Other than that, for the first 24 hours, what I did last year, I think was a
Same.
good strategy, and I stick with it. Anybody wants to hang with me, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Okay. So how can backyard ultra format promote ultra running specifically in Malaysia? What do you think, or how?
I think it adds a very, very, very nice variety to our local scene. We have so many formats, 50k to 100k to 100 miles on roads and trails, and a few 200k roads. 12 hours, 6 hours, 24 hours, maybe now 48 hours. So this just adds another very completely different option for those who are looking for something more fun, if you're looking for fun, or challenging if you want to push yourself to your absolute DNF limits. Basically everybody who doesn't finish, who doesn't win, who wants to go to their limit, they will definitely have to reach their limits and cause some sort of breakdown in their system, whether it's sleep or their muscles or their cramps. Yeah, so I think it just adds a very good variety to our local scene.
I see. Okay.
I'm a big fan of quirky race formats, so this is a really quirky, unique format. I love this. I love to see races like this.
Do you foresee a woman in Malaysia to be the last one standing? If so, who will it be?
I think it will happen. It can easily happen in 2020, the next edition. There's already a few ladies who I see who can definitely do it. The obvious one, the first two to come to mind is Chong Macy. She just did a fantastic 24-hour run, 191 kilometers, which is the best ever by a Malaysian, man or woman. So she's definitely a obvious answer. The other one will be Christine Loh. She's done a few very long races. She's very consistent. These two ladies, I think, are the two I foresee that can do it. I really think if they actually had done it this year, one of them could have easily definitely have won the race. So it's definitely a matter of when it will happen. I do hope they if they're watching this, I do hope they show up. Christine and Macy, please
Okay.
join the fun.
Yes, hopefully they show up
Yeah.
and there will be a tough fight for you.
Yes.
Any specific training you can share for participants in Malaysia Backyard Ultra? What is your advice to them, especially those who will be joining first time?
Yeah, when it comes to training, I think that's an excellent question. There's no good answer I can think of. The format is relatively new. There's no backyard specialists in the world. Like it's like the people who win the most are maybe 24-hour runners or trail runners. They can be anything. It's a mixed bag. So there's no specialist to actually give specific advice. A few weeks ago, I even posted this on some Facebook group I was on asking for advice. I'm looking to figure out how to train better. So I don't have any good answers, but some of the advice I read was maybe you can try a race where you do maybe a quick race in the morning, maybe a 10k all-out race, a sprint, and then a few hours later in the afternoon you do a mini backyard where you do maybe half an hour version of a backyard, then you rest for a few minutes, half an hour run, half an hour, a few minutes. So the point of the morning run is just to exhaust your muscles, to make your muscles exhausted, pre-exhaust, so that when you do the afternoon session, maybe you can simulate the muscle fatigue a little bit. Another option I could think of was maybe join a 24-hour race, but instead of running for 24 hours, you run pretty hard for 3 hours and then take a 3-hour break, and then 3 hours, 3-hour break. You do that for 24 hours. So that'll give you like maybe 4 sessions of 3 hours. So that's another option. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking for something. For example, for last year, I didn't do any backyard specific training. It was just normal mileage, long runs, slow intensity, because I knew slow intensity is key. You definitely don't need to be doing sprint intervals and track sessions. Those won't help you much. So I think the most safe answer will be just do a lot of high mileage, low intensity runs.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to come back this year for Malaysia Backyard Ultra, what would you think your target will be, or how many loops you're gonna do?
My target
last year was 29.
29, yes.
29 loops. So you think you're gonna hang on to 29, or you think you can do more if there's a competitor? I
think if I do reappear, my target would be to win. That's the first and foremost my target. So that very much depends on number 2. Whatever the number 2 does, I want to do one more than that. But other than that, milestones wise, my target A, the absolute best case scenario, if I have a fantastic day, it'll be 48 hours. That'll be 200 miles, two full days. That's the absolute best case scenario. But other than that, mini targets will be 40 hours. 40 hours is quite an international level, where a lot of, like for example, for the next year one in America, many people who have a 40 hour in their resume will get accepted into the race, even without a golden ticket. So 40 hours is a very good yardstick.
I see.
And then other than that, the next third target will be 36 hours, a day and a half, 150 miles.
I see.
So 36, 40, or best case 48 hours.
All right.
Yeah. But I have to figure out how to stay awake for 48 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the last question for this interview, I think you already answered. Now that Malaysia Backyard Ultra have golden ticket, are you confident to win if you were to join this year and participate in big World Championship in USA?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, I will give it my 110% to get the golden coin, the golden ticket.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to get myself to the Big's Backyard in the US.
Okay.
Yeah. That'll be my biggest running target for 2020.
All right.
To get a golden ticket and to get myself to Big's Backyard. That's my big goal for 2020.
All right. So with that, we will end this interview, and all the best to you, and hope to see you in Malaysia Backyard Ultra 2020.
Thank you very much.
Yay. Okay, ready, cameraman.
And my first impression was that I was very happy, very excited. I knew I was definitely going to do it,
Okay.
for sure. I just had to figure out how to train or how to plan for it.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, give me some comments.
I think good,
Am I speaking too fast, too slow, not clear enough?
I think that's good enough.
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
very
to
good.
be natural.
Yeah.
To be
My posture, my hands, I don't know what the hell is going on.
to be a bit more
like this,
natural, I guess.
Okay lah, so far so good lah. We can end this very fast, don't worry. Few more questions only. We should bring some water, some beer.